if you are planting now, and I encourage it, especially flowers, things are so boring right now. They're brown. They need something. Those pots are just empty. The flower beds are just barely, the things are barely sprouting up. They need some help. If you're planting, let's say it's some ornamental kale, pansies, violas, snapdragons, all those early spring, you could plant all of those right now. Strawberries, you could put lettuce, spinach, all those things right now. If you're planting, make sure you get a bottle, a bag, some sort of fertilizer. And I'm trying to get my clients that I'm helping right now get some flowers, a cartload of flowers, big hanging baskets. We've got those in now. If you're getting some of those, get a bottle of Flower Power water soluble fertilizer. Flower Power is going to keep those blooms going and keeps them forcing new growth. So they've got active new growth right now. They've decided to go, I'm going to bloom. Keep that bloom cycle going. And so especially early spring season, it's important. So fertilize them a couple times a month. Put some of this, a couple scoops in your watering can and water things in, and they will be happy. Oh, you'll get more fruits, bigger strawberries, more flowers, bigger mammoth pansies. You'll get better gardens, especially in your containers and raised beds. So just a little insider tip. My name's Ken. We're just friends. We're neighbors talking over the back fence. And this is some things that I'm doing. I think that's really going to up your game. We'll go over some of that with this weekend's garden class. So this weekend it's peonies, how to grow perennial peony. They do really well here in the mountains of Arizona. As long as they drain, as long as you don't overwater them, they're so deep rooted. Did you know that perennials are the longest lived, or one of the longest lived perennials that you can plant in the gardens? They're there for decades. Literally, they'll just keep going and going for decades. They're going to outlive you. They're like parrots. They live for decades. Make sure they have them in your will, because you're going to pass them on to your kids. So that's how to grow those and get the most enjoyment, the different types of peonies. Next week, it's on the shrubs that are similar. So they're lilacs. How do you grow lilacs? And they're one of the longest living perennial shrubs you can put out there in the yard. They live for decades. They can consistently give you bloom after bloom after bloom in spring. So how do you get more fragrance? What are the best varieties? Where do you place them in the gardens, out in the landscapes? Some of these are very large plants. Some are very short. Depends on which variety that you're putting in. Next week, that's lilacs. So we switch a little bit next week. So starting April 7th, we go to 3 o'clock on Friday afternoons. So we just change it up a little bit. It's been 9:30 on Saturdays. We're going to go to 3 p.m. on Fridays just because our facility just won't handle a class of 50 students plus another 50 gardeners here shopping for whatever. So we go to the afternoons, we can accommodate more folks and not be pressured to get you out of here faster, to free up the parking lot. It's parking lot management, really. So 3 o'clocks, again, that's available on our website, watersgardencenter.com. You'll just see a big classes button. Just hit that. It'll tell you all about them, what the classes are. The week after that, I think that's the 14th. It's a big one. There'll be 100 students here. It'll be vegetables and herbs, how to grow them, what to grow them, what's the date on them, how do you get the most out of them. So if you're thinking about planting an herb or vegetable garden this spring, join that class. That'll be the third Friday in I think it's the 14th in April. So it keeps going. Next week, I'm going to dedicate a portion of this show to growing better herbs. We live in an area that grows some of the best herbs in the country. We don't get this. They love bright days, cool nights. They don't get the disease. They like the dryness, the brightness. This has got everything. Our gardens have everything herbs love. So we'll go over how to have the best. And there's nothing like fresh herbs right from the garden. They're amazing. Throughout the week, Lisa and I camp out here at Waters Garden Center. We're available most days, answering questions, and we love talking to fans of the show. Until next week.